Hello, this tutorial is meant to show you what my expectations were on the weight balance assignment. You are all welcome to redo this assignment for full points. It's really only 3 key poses, edited a little bit, and when you do your editing, thinking of the bouncing ball, which is momentum, float versus gravity. When momentum pushes something, it goes out fast. When it floats, it doesn't move that much. When gravity pulls at it, it pulls in fast. So think of where momentum, float, and gravity affect this character. I will only go through the 3 key poses needed to create this. Look at that. That's all that was expected in this assignment. So don't kill yourself. Do it. You can do this in 20 minutes. Now I'm going to open up a blank. And I think I'll set my first pose at around 22. Make sure that there's nothing on this figure, and it looks like there's something on one of my pieces. So I just check it. It could be this. I'm going to break connections. That deletes any animation on that. Let's see if I still have any animation. I do have animation on something. Where is that? It is on my left eye. Okay, I'll keep that. That's okay. I'm on frame 22. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is I cheat by just showing my NURBS curves and my polygons. So show gives me this window, NURBS curves, polygons. That way I can turn off the polygons and just select my curves to do keyframes. Also, up here you can either have hierarchy and combinations, select by object type, or select by component type. A couple of you find your way into component type. That's a wrong place to be because you see all these little pink dots. When you see pink dots, you know you got to change over here to object type because that won't set keyframes. So make sure you're in object type here. First thing I'm going to do is contrapposto. If you don't remember that, you need to learn what that is. So you need to go over last week's theory portion and read about contrapposto. So I'm going to set the contrapposto after I stand up and look at where my hips are. And I find that when I'm putting the balance over this fulcrum, my hip is up. Which means then, for contrapposto, this has to make up the leveling. It has to be opposite. So that's pretty far over, but what the heck, I'll go with it. Then I'm going to just turn this foot around because and I'm going to not pick the IK handle. It's a little tricky sometimes to pick these curves, but I'm going to pick the foot there, and maybe I'll turn it, whoops, undo that, rotate, I'm going to turn it a little bit like this. So that looks enough like a pose for me that I'm happy, right? So I'm going to use my little cheat monster here, and I'm going to turn off my polygons so I just see my curves. I'm going to select all my curves, and I'm at frame 22, so I'm going to press S. Voila! Now I'm going to let it be an 8-frame transition, which is 1/3 of a second. And I'm going to turn back on my polygons and get rid of this. So now I am at 30. I want to make the opposite contrapposto. Then I'm going to move this over here. Yo. Pull this down a little bit. And I may have that going on a little bit too far, this contrapposto, because it's sinking in my other leg. There you go. Raise up that. Wait, confused myself. Goes from there, it's up, and there, and 30. It's going to be up. Come on, go to 30. Yeah, 30. It will be up. So pull this over. Turn this right here. And then I'm going to fix this foot to turn in a little bit more. And this already tells me that maybe I'm a little too far over. So I'll go like there. What I want to do is show that the weight's over that foot. Then I'll turn this one a little bit over. Okie dokie. Can't cheat that. We can rotate it. Only rotate it. That's all it lets us do. Okay, so it looks comfortably like it's on that foot. Again, I'm just doing it quick and simple, quick and easy. Set that. For some reason I have that keyframe. Don't know what it is, so I'm going to delete it. So I just have these two keyframes, right? This pose and this pose. They're pretty dramatically different. So I'm going to look at the middle pose, and in those other poses, it's kind of bent. So I'm going to let it rise up a little bit, because when we, when we move from leg to leg, we go up. And you'll find out a little more about that when we do the walk cycle. So now I'm up at 26, S, right? Shake it up and down, right? Now let's see what I got so far. Oh, I have to have my window chosen to see it. So kind of cool. What I want to do now is finesse it a little bit. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to keep this until maybe 27. I don't want my foot to turn until maybe the last moment. And this is just crazy stuff I'm doing on my own, because I want a certain look. And I'm going to do it here too. Let's see if that did anything interesting. Well, that may not be necessary. Let's go to here and think, what can I do creatively to that foot to make it more interesting? So it's not on that foot, so let's try a little bit of toe roll. What does that do? Ooh, that's kind of cool. So maybe I'll do a little toe roll, a little bit of a ball roll. Okay, maybe it's a little swanky. Okay, what does the heel roll do? Ooh, puts it up like that. So why don't I take that, make it more interesting by pulling this down to the ground? And let's make sure it's on the ground correctly. Looking here, yeah, that's on the ground. So now I'm going to press S, Coolio, and copy. Well, I don't need to copy that. Let's see if it stays on the ground. Look at that. Makes it a lot more interesting. It shows you that he's now putting that weight on that foot. So let's now do the same thing over here to show that the weight is off the foot. I'm using my middle mouse button and pushing it down. That's why I get this little arrow here. So I select it, then I use my middle mouse button, and I can turn stuff. I'll do a little bit of heel roll. Now that it's up in the air, I'm going to pull it down a bit. Cool. And I'll press keyframe S, right? Let's see what that did. Yeah, even more believable. What I don't like is my middle position. I don't think he's up off the ground enough, even though I've just fully stretched my rig. So that tells me I probably want to emphasize this a little bit more. I might pull this down to the ground a bit more. S. And then I'm going to go here and pull this down a little bit more. S. So you see, a lot of the animation is done after you've done your 3 poses. So I kind of have it there. Woo. He does some things a little bit fast towards the end, but I'm hoping you get it. This is all I'm really looking for. I don't know if I have enough of a torque going on here. So I'm going to increase it just for fun. Make this go like this. S. Then maybe I'll look for something in the middle that, maybe I'll make it even in the middle. And here's a trick, right click, key selected. It just will animate that one frame. I'll put it in the last one, and maybe I'll rotate this a little bit more. K, and S. Okay, so now let's look at it. Even a little bit more believable. Then, as I get even better as an animator, I can view, frame all, look at this and think about, oh, let's do everything I was supposed to do in my original assignment where I had to delete all the curves that didn't go anywhere and clean things up. So I just dealt with the animations I needed to deal with. So let's see if there's nothing in the right blink. Nothing in Smooth Monty. Rotate Z, there is something. Rotate Y, there is not. I'm going to kill that. Rotate X, there is not. I'm going to kill that. Okay, so there's only something going on in my Rotate Z. Something else I learned from my initial assignment where I moved through the maze is that I can get rid of any extra keyframes on a curve that don't affect the curve. So I'm going to delete that. And look, the curve really doesn't change that much. And anyhow, I'm going to edit it. I'm going to break that tangent. I'm going to weight the tangent. Then I'm going to free the tangent weight. Oops. Let me move this controller. Okay. Then I'm going to free the tangent weight. Coolio. Now it gives me these long bars that I remember from my first assignment. I'm going to make this look more like the bouncing ball, which was, I am working with force, float, and gravity. Force moves this body up and then floats it here while gravity fights and pushes it down here. So let's see if you notice any difference. You'll see a little bit more weight. Now, as you get even better at this, you're going to think, ooh, I'm going to want to employ anticipation and maybe some follow-through. And we'll talk about that later in the course. Please come to my classroom from 7 to 9:30 in BST 214 on Tuesday and Thursday nights, or go see Angela from 12 to 5 on Mondays and Wednesdays. Only one person has gone to see Angela, and only one person has come in to ask me questions. So please, please, please take advantage of that. You're paying for it. I will see you soon.